Supporter of the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Bolivia, now I told y'all about how the president, the former president, Evo Morales, the country's first indigenous president, who was set to serve his 4th term after an election a couple months ago that was actually marred by fraud. You know, people feel like got fake votes tallied up and all of that shit, whatever. I told y'all about how last week or earlier this week, he actually had announced that he was resigning from his position as president and what he called a military coup. He did this after the military got on the airways basically saying that he should resign. And, you know, currently he actually took has asylum in Mexico after he took a Mexican government plane from La Paz, Bolivia, out to Mexico, whatever way he is. Now, that happened, right? So now you have Janine Áñez, Republican right-wing senator, the president of the Chamber of Senators, who actually assumed the position of president of the country, in which people are not recognizing. You have like the Movement Toward Socialism Party, that's Evo Morales' party, who's actually, you know, denouncing it and considering it to be like a military coup. But you also have like a organization of American states. I actually met in DC yesterday, where you had for an emergency meeting on the matter, where you had U.S. Ambassador Carlos Trujillo, who actually spoke on read a message that Trump had made that basically said that this should send a strong signal to Venezuela and Nicaragua, whatever the fuck that means. You know what I'm saying? So people are denouncing it as a military coup, like Mexico, Uruguay, Nicaragua, and the president-elect of Argentina. So, you know, shit is real. This is seeming like, you know, the country's in political turmoil. It is what it is. Green War and Graduation Party, the New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So President Trump is actually meeting with Recep Tayyip Erdogan, the president of Turkey, today, amidst all of these televised impeachment hearings that's supposed to go on with George Kent and Bill Taylor. Now, that's very interesting by itself. But keep in mind that Turkey is like under international condemnation of war crimes that are apparently going on in northern Syria. Ever since Trump actually told the U.S. troops to stop supporting the Kurds, Turkey militia has actually gone into northern Syria and just been, you know, fucking shit up. U.S. military via CNN actually said that they have drone surveillance showing Turkey committing possible war crimes. But now keep in mind though, John Bolton, former national security advisor, he just like resigned from his position not too long ago. He actually said that to like a group of like hedge fund managers in Miami, how he thought Trump's moves in Turkey were motivated by personal relationships or financial interests. Now, the New York Times is reporting that there are 3 sons-in-law involved in the U.S.-Turkey relationship. You have Erdogan's son-in-law. He has 2 sons-in-laws. One that's actually the Turkey finance minister. Another one that's actually some Turkish tycoon that actually is business partners with the Trump organization. And you have Jared Kushner, Trump's son-in-law, who is like the senior foreign policy advisor or whatever. So, you know, he oversees most of the foreign policy that's going on in the U.S. Ain't this shit crazy? Like, so they corrupt, and Trump, it's like they trying to normalize corruption, man. Like, let's keep it real. Let's call it what the fuck it is. Oh, y'all right-wing motherfuckers that's watching this, man, wake the fuck up, yo, because I'm really not trying to hear that bullshit about how other presidents commit crimes too. Or y'all trying to normalize this shit, man. It's not right. Green War and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady, letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. Make sure y'all sign that petition. Get Donald Trump on Twitter. Find the change.org link in the video description if you're watching this on YouTube. Now, the Supreme Court, SCOTUS, Supreme Court of the United States, actually had oral arguments yesterday, heard oral arguments yesterday dealing with DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, to affect at least 700,000 people in this country. People who were brought here, protect them from deportation and given work permits. So that took place. But also, they heard arguments for the case of Adrian Sergio Hernandez Guerreca, who was a Mexican teenager that was shot in the face back in 2010 in Ciudad Juarez, by a Border Patrol agent in El Paso, Texas, shooting across the border. And there seems to be a lot of concerns dealing with what legal relief was provided to these families who lost people from Border Patrol violence. So it basically seems like a lot of granted, the Supreme Court is like majority Republican or right wing, and it seems like people are just siding with Trump on these issues, but there seems to be a way being made for these Border Patrol agents and Homeland Security to act unlawfully with impunity. So everybody stay woke on these issues. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So the Supreme Court, I just gave y'all a headline about the Supreme Court, but I'm giving y'all another one because they were active yesterday, and they actually declined to hear an appeal of Remington Arms. Now this is the company that makes the Bushmaster rifle, the rifle that was used in the 2012 Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting in Newtown, Connecticut, that left 26 people, a lot of students and teachers as well, deceased. So they say, unless you ask Alex Jones, because it's some, and there is some like different shit about that's out there, but I personally have not been able to verify either which way. So we're just gonna go with what's understood as the story. 26 people were killed. Now, the families of these people that were killed have actually been suing Remington Arms because they marketed the Bushmaster rifle as an assault, as a weapon for assault against human beings. And that's the basis of their argument. The Connecticut Supreme Court already ruled in favor of the families, and Remington Arms tried to appeal to the Supreme Court. They declined that shit, so that lawsuit will proceed. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So a federal court in Boston, Massachusetts actually ruled in favor, in what is actually a win for privacy rights advocates, the ACLU and the Electronic Frontier Foundation that actually brought this suit into light, which basically says that it is illegal, it is unconstitutional and a violation of the Fourth Amendment for people's phones or computers to actually be searched at airports or U.S. ports of entry. Simple and plain. So this should stick. Hopefully it is adhered to, and if it's not adhered to, that's when the people which has the power should erupt. You know what I mean? Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So I might not have told y'all this, but everybody should keep in mind that Google's mission statement is to hold all the world's information. So with that being said, it should be no surprise some of the shit that they do, and they should just be heavily monitored as a company, in their endeavors to essentially erode privacy or to contain all of the world's information. Like, that's literally their mission statement. So keep this in mind when I say the Health and Human Services Department has actually launched a federal inquiry into Google's Project Nightingale program. This is a program that aims to attain the healthcare data of millions of Americans. A whistleblower actually had brought this to light, showing how there was that they literally have like the full names and full medical data on like millions of Americans, possibly even you. So stay woke, and hopefully that shit gets shut down. It's named after Florence Nightingale, a very famous nurse in the United States history, but they taking advantage though. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So new government data released has shown that 70,000 babies, children, and teenagers have actually been detained by U.S. Homeland Security, Border Patrol, and all of that this year. That's a 42% increase in this past fiscal year compared to last fiscal year. So American Academy of Pediatrics has actually condemned that, saying like even short terms of detention for these children have actually have long-term effects, cause trauma and all of that. So everybody keep that in mind. Green Wall and Graduation. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News report. So White House Senior Advisor Stephen Miller, known dickhead to a lot of people who've been paying attention to him, but you might not really know of anything that he's done. But The Southern Poverty Law Center has found out, due to a cache of emails that they retrieved from 2015 to 2016, showing him sending emails to a Breitbart writer. Now, for those who don't know who Breitbart is this right-wing, I would say far-right news publication that promotes, a lot of like extremist ideas, racist ideas. They try to ground it in intellect, but it's not done, and it's not very thought-provoking or whatever. And it's actually founded by Steve Bannon, who used to be in the White House or whatever, White House advisor, campaign advisor for Trump. Nevertheless, they found that he was using Breitbart to like promote these like racist, right-wing extremist, white nationalist ideas. So you have people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, New York Congresswoman, calling for him to resign. Green Wall and Graduation Report of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Afghanistan, Kabul, there was actually a car bombing that killed 7 people. Nobody claimed responsibility for the attack, and this comes after the Afghan government and the Taliban actually reached a peace deal with a prisoner exchange, with that allowed for the Taliban to release like 2 American University in Afghanistan professors, one from Australia, one from the US, in exchange for like 3 senior Taliban members. So, is peace on the horizon really over there? Green Wall and Graduation of the New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So Hong Kong protests continue for a 3rd straight day. I mean, talking about thousands of people out in the streets protesting outside of Chinese University of Hong Kong. And more police crackdowns and detentions, sentences given out or whatever, or detainees accumulated. You also have Chinese government that's actually saying they're standing by the decisions of the Hong Kong police and government. So, shit is still violence is still erupting over there. See how this all goes down. Green Wall and Graduate. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So I told y'all over in Chile how after damn near a month of protest, they actually got the government to agree to rewrite the Constitution. The Chile's Interior Minister actually announced that publicly Sunday, that the government would rewrite the Constitution. Power to the motherfucking people. Keep in mind that 19 people died in these government crackdowns on these protests these last few weeks. But, justice, the people essentially got what they want, or so we thought. So there was a lot of people that actually protested yesterday, basically calling for the more involvement from the people involved with the rewriting process. So the Interior Minister announced that the government would rewrite it and then give it to Congress for approval, and then they would have a public referendum. But the people want to be involved in the very beginning. So protests in Chile are still going the fuck down. People think that this is Sebastián Piñera's attempt, or that's the president, but his attempt to like basically stall on any major reform. Green Wall and Graduate. The New World Order, Bishop Grady letting y'all know what the fuck going on for this Black Fox News Report. So over in Hartford, Connecticut, actually, shout out to Homicide Hartford, like, I hate to pull out, I don't want to pull it, shout out to the Heartbeat, you know what I mean? But, if people who know me out there, they know Black Fox News, I fucks with Hartford, But in immigration news, though, so you had Salma Sikandar. This is a woman who lived in the U.S. for 20 years, and all the way up until this past June, she was ordered by Immigration, Customs and Enforcement, ICE, the Homeland Security Police, that's been detaining migrants and trying to get rid of so-called illegal immigrants. They actually told her that she had to leave by August, and they deported her. As a result, and she had to leave her son and her husband, behind. As a result, the husband planted himself outside of the ICE office in Hartford, Connecticut. First, it was like for 2 days straight, like going on a hunger strike. First, it was by himself. Then, 9 people joined him. Then it was hundreds of people joining him, including the mayor of South Windsor and the mayor of Manchester. So they finally won asylum for his wife. So that's some stand-up shit right there. You know what I mean? So salute to that family. Greenwald and Graduation.